Hello, students. Hope all of you are fine. Welcome to your geography class. Today we are going to read unit number 4, Forests. So we start our lesson. Students, forests are extensive continuous areas of land dominated by trees. The desired level of forests is 20 to 30% of the total area of a country. In Pakistan, only about 1.91% of the total area is forested, which is very low. Pakistan does not have great forest resources. One reason is that much of the land is not very fertile. The other reason is that trees are cut down to be used as firewood or as timber. And even if trees are replanted, it takes a long time for them to grow. When forests are cut down or reduced because of grazing animals, we also lose the wildlife that lives there. Cutting down large areas of forest can also have an impact on the climate. In some parts of the country, there are thick forests with trees of many kinds. In other parts, there are few trees. There are two types of forests in Pakistan: productive forests, protection forest. One third of the forest area in Pakistan is covered by productive forests, and the remaining two thirds are production forests. Productive forests. These are mainly natural forests. In these forests, the tree density is high and the forest canopy is closed. Such forests have great commercial value and they are mainly used for extraction of timber and other products. Protection forests. These forests are mainly planted by people and are usually linear. They include amenity planting along roads, in parks, and along railway lines. The protection forests have little commercial value because many of them do not supply valuable species of wood. Their main function is to protect the soil and to prevent it from eroding or blowing away. They keep the environment pleasant by lowering the temperature and providing shade. Importance of forests. The following points are the importance of forests for us. As there is a shortage of power resources, the local and oil found in our country is insufficient to meet our requirements. So, a large population of our country living in rural areas use wood as fuel and for other domestic purposes. Besides timber wood being used as fuel, the wood for making furniture and building material is also obtained from forests. Forests supply the raw material and wood for various industries of our country, such as matches, paper, sports goods, resins, rayon, etc. Forests keep the climate of the adjacent areas pleasant by getting the moisture through its roots from interior of the earth and spreading it through their branches and leaves. The forest areas of our country serve as pasture for the cattle of farmers living near them. Camels, sheep, and goats get their food from them. In mountainous areas, forests help to preserve our agricultural land from the dangers of erosion. In plain areas, forests or trees save the banks of canal and rivers from erosion. The most important thing is that the forests provide oxygen gas for us and consume our filthy carbon dioxides. A large number of fruits that we use are provided from trees or forests. In forests, a large number of animals took refuge. So, forests provide hunting facilities for hunters and they get meat and skins from them. Kinds of forests in Pakistan. Alpine. These forests grow in snowy conditions similar to those in the Alps, a mountain range in Europe. Due to the very cold climate above a height of 4,000 meters, trees do not grow properly. Some dwarfed trees of silver fir, juniper, and beech grow here. Alpine forests are found on the mountains of Gilgit-Baltistan and in a limited area in Chitral, Dir, Swat, and Gilgit. Coniferous forests. These forests are found in the lower part of the mountains of the north, for example, above Murray and Nathia Gully, and in parts of the hills of Balochistan. In these forests, there are fir, spruce, deodar, and kale trees. There are also a number of broadleaf trees such as the oak, maple, willow, beech, chestnut, chestnut, poplar, walnut, and juniper. The wood from these trees is very valuable. Balochistan has one of the largest and oldest juniper forests in the world near Ziyarat. Some trees are believed to be 5,000 years old. These forests are a protected heritage site. Thorn or rock. In the western part of Balochistan and over most of Punjab and Sindh, there are very few forests. The climate is too dry and the soil not very fertile in Balochistan for much vegetation. These areas contain thorny hardwood trees such as the acacia, kikar, and tamarisk. The vegetation here survives despite the low rainfall and poor soil in the area. Dry forests. These forests are found in the Potowar Plateau region around Jhelum, Rawalpindi, Attock, Mansehra, Abbottabad, Kohat, and Peshawar, and in the Suleiman Range in Balochistan. These forests have evergreen trees such as the phula and cow. Some chestnut, juniper, walnut, and oak trees are also found here. Riverine forests. These are also called bala forests. They are found close to rivers. The babul, a form of acacia, and shisham are the most common trees in these forests. Shisham is a strong hardwood used mostly for furniture. The largest riverine forests are in Sindh along the river Indus. Mangroves. Mangrove forests are found in the south of Pakistan along the coast and in the delta area of the river Indus. Mangroves do not grow very tall because of the salty water, but they do provide a home and sources of food for different kinds of marine life. Mangroves also protect the coastal area from erosion, natural disasters such as tidal waves due to storms and tsunamis. Mangroves, because of their usefulness, are a protected plant species. Plantation. Plantations are man made forests. They are started where there is enough water, usually near rivers and canals or close to a dam. Eucalyptus, shisham, and barbel trees are commonly grown in plantations. However, eucalyptus, which is fast growing, has medicinal properties and is a natural insecticide, is also a very thirsty tree. Its roots spread deep underground and draw up all the water they can, so it is also used to drain swamps or marshes. Irrigated plantations in Pakistan. Advantages: provide a source of timber for construction, fencing, firewood. Leaves of the trees provide food for animals. Leaf fall leads to humus formation that increases fertility of soil. Transpiration from the leaves brings more rainfall and lowers the temperature. Provide shade, shelter for people and animals, absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the air, add to scenic beauty of the area and promote tourism, control surface runoff and soil erosion, provide employment to people in forest related jobs, protect the agricultural crops by providing shade and reducing water losses. Eucalyptus trees can reduce waterlogging and salinity. Disadvantages: planting forests need high initial investment but do not give quick returns or profits, no short term economic benefits. Trees needed to be maintained and taken care of need money on regular basis. Need irrigation, extra burden on limited water supplies. Loss of land for settlements, farmland, industries, transport, and other uses. Illegal cutting of trees is difficult to check. Forest fires causing damage to the environment. Deforestation in Pakistan. Pakistan's forest resources are shrinking at the rate of 1% annum, and this will have dreadful effects on the people of Pakistan and on the ecological system. What are the causes of deforestation? Large forest tracts are cleared to grow crops and to carry out mining activities. After the construction of dams and barrages, which provide irrigation water, millions of hectares of land were cleared to meet the food requirement of the growing population. Increasing urbanization also causes deforestation. Sprawling growth of cities has converted forest areas into residential colonies. Due to industrialization and urbanization, there is great demand for better transport facilities. In Pakistan, road transport is preferred over other means of transport. The road transport network is getting larger and denser. In many areas, lines through forest have been cut to make roads. Pakistan has a good domestic and foreign market for wood based products. Wood is used in industries like sports goods, chipboards, hardboards, veneer, plywood, and safety matches. Wood is also required as construction material for building. Bus bodies, boats, and railway coaches also consume wood. As a result, forests are cut down to meet the demands of industry. In Pakistan, nearly 50% of heating and cooking requirements are met by 20.88 cubic meters of fuel wood every year. In fact, 76% of the rural population depends on wood for heating and cooking, which results in excessive cutting of trees. Overgrazing of land by cattle, goats, and sheep has also converted subtropical scrub forest and tropical thorn forest areas into deserts. Effects of deforestation. Deforestation exposes the soil to the forces of wind and water, especially on the foothills of the mountains. Soil erosion is a menace. The upper layer of the soil is eroded away and leaves behind infertile coarse sand. With heavy rainfall, the water gushes down the mountains, carrying with it large quantities of silt and sand. With no trees to hold the soil together and slow the water flow, the surface runoff may cause heavy floods. Large amounts of silt from the northern mountains are also carried down and they accumulate in the reservoirs of the dams. This reduces the capacity of the reservoir and disrupts the generation of hydroelectricity. Hydroelectricity. Deposition of silt also harms fisheries and blocks irrigation canals. Continuous disruption of water badly affects the crops and food production is reduced. Solution to the problems caused by deforestation. The following measures could be helpful to solve the problems caused by deforestation. Supplying irrigation facilities to the deforested areas with effective enforcement of regeneration programs. Commercial species of trees which grow rapidly should be planted. By reserving land for fuel wood plantation only, the valuable species of trees could be saved. In Pakistan, precious forest resources have been cut down just to supply fuel wood for domestic use. Creating awareness among the people by the government agencies, no governmental organizations, and the community workers about the hazards of deforestation. The supply of natural gas to northern areas will make life easier for the population and will eventually help to ease the pressure on the environment. Rapid deforestation has forced local people, especially women, to trudge ever greater distances on foot to forage for firewood, which they then have to carry home in heavy bundles. The local availability of natural gas should put an end to this ordeal for them. By improving the techniques of raising nurseries and planting trees, deforested areas could be regenerated in a short period. Forest management should try to find ways to make forestry more sustainable. For example, ensuring that logging companies only use selective cutting methods, restricting the use of bulldozers and heavy destructive machinery in forests, strict enforcement of forest laws, enforcement of village farm forestry programs, urban forestry programs, which include planting of trees along main roadsides and in open spaces. Planting fruit trees on the slopes of hills would provide food to the local people and would help to protect the soil as deforested slopes are more susceptible to wind and water erosion. The government has taken various steps to increase the areas under forests. Large areas have been reserved for forestation in Thal, Ghulam Muhammad Barrage, and Gudu Barrage, and this is likely to improve the future acreage of forests to some extent. Besides this, Forest Department celebrates weeks for tree plantation in the months of spring and rainy seasons. During these weeks, people are encouraged to plant more and more trees to increase the wooded areas in the country and narrow the gap between the supply and demand of forests. products, the following measures are being taken. Number one, management of forest on scientific basis. Number two, introduction of social forestry. Number three, planting of waste and denuded lands in high rainfall areas. Number four, raising industrial wood species on suitable soil. Number five, raising and extension of nurseries to provide adequate plants to planting agencies and farmers. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.